Good morning, everyone. YouTube. Lol. This is your captain speaking, Captain Calhoun. This is the lifeboat. How is everyone? Good morning. I slept a metric boatload. That is a official measurement of the lifeboat, metric boatload. Joe CPP fam, hello. Made it the first one. Love it. Good morning. Sandy Wandy, Sahuaro Christmas. Guys, I'm feeling way better. My tongue hurts a little bit, but that's because my teeth are sharp. Sue B, Kristen, Melinda. Hi, Lifeboat fam. About to call into a difficult work meeting. Well, I wish you all the best luck, Kristen. You've got this. Jen Otneen Hobbs, good morning, good morning. Body Illusion. Oh, I just poked myself right in the eye. Shannon Smith. Hey there. How you doing? Blessed to Crochet. Ripple Life. Going to the Greek festival this afternoon. I am a big fan of the Greek festival. I'm a big fan. Enjoy. That should be fun. That should be way fun. Lori Hart. Hey there. What is going on this morning? The newest nut. Mr. Ray Ray. Me and Mr. Ray Ray are going to get together for Chicago food on Saturday. I'm pretty excited. Tara Smiling. Lisa Black. Good morning. Got my coffee, guys. And we're going to talk a little bit more about the fourth dimension now that I don't feel like I'm going to pass out. I don't know what was going on. I went to bed like immediately after that. Woke up randomly at like 9:30, like 2.5 hours later, 3 hours later, starving. Ate like a whole pizza. Went back and drank like half a gallon of ice cream. Went back to bed. This morning I stepped on the scale. I lost 3.5 pounds somehow. I drank half a gallon of ice cream, damn near ate a whole pizza, lost 3.5 pounds. What is going on? I guess I need to eat more. I just need to eat more. That was just at 9:30 when I woke up starving. That wasn't even what I ate that day. That was just a kicker. Still lost weight. What the? I'm back down to a solid 150. Yeah, we're going to talk about the fourth dimension, Tara. I stopped myself in the middle of roll call. Here we go. Miss Sunrise Dawn. I hope you're doing super well this evening. Alicia, it's good to see you. Pajama Pixie. Well. Look who it is. It's me. All is hell for Pixie Corner in the Houston area. Thanks to Paula Puffer for checking on me. Shout out to Paula Puffer. How are you doing, Pixie? I hope that things start looking up here as soon as possible, ASAP. Linsanity. I slept rough, so I'm just going to listen today. I hope you all have a great day. Well, I also hope you guys all have a great day. Resin, Matrix Rabbit, yo. What's going on? I got to come up with some different fun ways to say hello because there's a million ways to say hello that are fun. And I feel like I do the same 3 or 4 over and over. We're going to have to really mix it up here. What's going on, Kim? Happy Friday. Yeah, I think I'm going to stop putting the day of the week in the name of the video because sometimes I don't know what day of the week it is, and that's embarrassing. But I totally woke up knowing it was Friday, I swear. Got up at 5 a.m., Mr. Ray Ray. Was that by choice or what happened? Just curious. I have to fight tooth and nail to get up at 5 a.m. Now it's becoming a habit. My body now wants to wake up. I think today was the first time it felt like really good. But I also went to bed really early last night. So it is a struggle for me to make that regular. Guys, I also have some really cool news. The universe works in mysterious ways. I'm a little bit late this morning because I was getting my notes together, and I'll pull up Facebook sometimes to check my Ripples chat just to make sure I'm not forgetting anything to shout out. Still a work in progress. I still feel like I'm forgetting to shout stuff out. But anyways, while I had the Facebook pulled up, very old friend messaged me someone that I've been thinking about and I've talked about a little bit actually on the show, and someone that's been really on my heart lately. And we kind of like spent some time reconnecting. And then I told her that I'm supposed to be going live and I have to jet, but we're gonna spend some time catching up later. Hopefully, I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to it. And the person in question, you guys remember the story I told about punching that guy, and his like face was all swollen up, and I like changed my life when I was way young, when I was like 20. This is that girl that I was with at that time. Um, yeah. Um, I think that me and her are probably going to be friends forever. She's legit. She told me she's been sober for 4 years today. I was like, what? I wanted to pull the trophy out on her, but we were just messaging. So, but I thought that was way cool. Very thought provoking. Stephen A., what is going on? Your super cool thumbnail next to your name kind of reminds me of the end scene from Looney Tunes, just in some weird way. I know that's not what it's supposed to be, but it's kind of what it looks like. Caddy Connie, what's going on? Mary King, hobbies and more. Going to bed. Have a great day. Well, I hope you sleep well. Lord Kiss Freak, what's up, dude? What is going on? Valerie 102. Yo, 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 yo. 5 minutes, your interview begins. Good luck. You got this, Caddy. You own it. Sierra Terry. Give her the text trophy, right? We're going to end up, Wages World sent me. It's a magnet. Dude, well, shout out to Mark Wages. What a guy. I hope he's well. I'm sure business is booming right now. Getting some serious astrological stuff. I keep waking up just sorer than dirt, dude. Like the most sore I've ever been. And I'm not really hitting the gym super hard. I'm getting some pretty, mediocre workouts in. So I don't know what's going on, but I bet you Mark Wages does. I've seen him over there. Welcome, Stephen A. We're gonna just kind of fart around a little bit this morning, but also talk about the fourth dimension, which is a sweet topic. It's also a very, I don't know. Acme is much better. It's a hard to talk about topic. I feel like it's very abstract. It's like talking about religion or like spiritualism. It's basically akin to the same thing. So I've tried to come up with a different way to present it, so that it's like, so we can all kind of talk about the same thing. So we have a common ground to stand on, if that makes sense. And this is what I've come up with. I think Tara will like this. Hopefully everybody likes this. My lips are dry. Give me just a minute. And that's how it's done. I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah. So have you ever listened to your heart? Do you ever like have a gut feeling and then you just trust yourself and it's right? Do you ever, I don't know, what's another way to say that? You ever like have dreams that mean more than just like a random dream? To me, these things are my spirit. To me, these things are spiritual. So when we talk about spiritual things or a spiritual awakening and the fourth dimension as well, we're talking about that part of ourself. Intuition, yes, whatever you want to call it, right? But there is something that can't be touched or quantified inside of us that speaks to us in various ways. And that is what I refer to as my spirit. And that is, I think, common ground we can all agree on. That's common ground that's not going to, offend anybody. That's common ground that, oh no, Seven Sun got the screen froze. Refresh. But yeah, so that is, yeah, and I also, Stephen A., do not believe in coincidences. I think me telling the story about that girl the other day, and then her hitting me up this morning are not a coincidence. You know what I mean? I think that we spiral back into each other's lives at times when we are meant to and whatnot. I equate that also to the fourth dimension. Love and light is the key. I like you, Stephen A. You can hang out as long as you want, dude. You can hang out anytime, bud. That's fantastic. You get it. But yeah, this is what I refer to as the spirit. So when we talk about a spiritual awakening or rocketing into the fourth dimension, we're talking about that inside piece that we can't quite quantify. And I think love and connection and, as Stephen put it, light have a lot to do with this. But specifically love, for our purposes, we're going to use love as a good example, right? Excuse me. Sherry Labron. Wow, I am late. I missed. She reached out. Yeah, she reached out this morning. I was actually like a couple minutes late starting. She hit me up on Facebook while I was checking my calendar and whatnot, trying to make sure that I had my head together. So we spent a little bit of time catching up, but it's pretty sweet. It's pretty cool. She's been on my heart lately, so. Her son has a learner's permit now. He's driving. Oh my. Oh my. Watch out. I'm sure he's great. I'm sure he was always a good kid. But yeah. Burp, 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 burp. What am I doing? The spirit, the fourth dimension. We're also going to be talking about love when we talk about the fourth dimension and the spirit, because I think they're all akin. I think love is that transcendent emotion that trumps all others. It's that ace of spades, if you will. My stomach was being really vocal yesterday, too. I don't know why. Sometimes that happens to me, too, Mr. Ray Ray, and I don't know why. I wonder if I should recommend this band. Do you guys have fun weekend plans? Me and Mr. Ray Ray are going to get some Chicago food. I know I already said that, but I'm really excited. I'm going to bring him a book so that he has one, and selfishly, I have to admit, a little selfishly, so that he can participate in book study. But I have like 3 or 4 of these. I know we're not an AA channel or anything, but I'm a believer. So, and Mr. Ray Ray's been showing up to book study without a book consistently. So I'm just going to give him a book. It just seems like the right thing to do. It seems like that's what they're for. Why do I have 4 of these books? This one doesn't even have annotations in it. So there you go, baby. But yeah, I'm really excited about that. Tell me what your plans are this weekend. Let's talk about it. Should be a decent weekend. Yeah, Tara, it's funny. We were talking about that, and then I was like looking around. I was like, who the heck am I? I have all these books. And I'm like, yeah, you'll get a free one. It's like, dude, you're the guy that gives him the free book. What are you doing? That's like your job, Much love, Jimmy Pickles. Jimmy Pickles, Pepper TV. What is going on, dude? Welcome in. Welcome in. How is the garden, Jimmy? What's growing in the garden? Yeah, dude, it's easy to forget because we're in this like internet thing, but we also live in the same town. But yeah, so while I'm on the subject of that book, in that book, it talks about the fourth dimension and being rocketed into the fourth dimension when bringing the message of hope to someone in need. And there's a lot more to it than that, right? They use specific terms and specific circumstances to describe it as not to confuse But when two addicts get together and talk about sobriety, right? Or when two trauma, I don't know how to say that, trauma victim. Is that the right way to say that? Two people with trauma get together and talk about recovery. That is the fourth dimension, as according to the book. That is moving with love. That is a powerful thing, and it's not entirely understood, and I don't think it can quite be quantified. But something happens when we get together and we talk about common goals and common experiences and in a better tomorrow, a better today. Something happens. And I don't want to call it magic, but damn, it's magic. You know what I mean? Like it's something else. It's the fourth dimension. It's quite, again, difficult to describe, but something happens when we get together and try to do this thing together. Arie Schleider, good morning. My tongue is getting tied. Helping my aunt move, then hosting the high school students I mentor for s'mores and a fireside movie. Pretty stoked about it. You know, Jen, that's pretty neat. Gardening, my tomatoes and peppers are blooming. Much love, Jimmy Pickles. Thanks for stopping in, dude. How are you these days? I don't think we've ever spoken, but I know who you are because I saw you on TV with my uncle. JP Piranha and many other things. Good, good, good. This is what we need. This is what we want. This is what we want to hear. Keep up the good work, Jimmy. I'm a big fan, dude. Anyways, I get lost sometimes in my head, and it's me. It's my thing. Conversations with Christy. Had so much fun during that live. That was a sweet live, guys. I did enjoy that. I was just an audience member. Casey, good morning. You mentioned in one of your night lives about wanting to know more about your family, and the next morning I received an email from Ancestry DNA for a one-day only sale. Yeah, I think that we've talked about this, haven't we? I have the kit. I just haven't done it yet. I've been trying to get my stuff together. I'll do it today. We'll send it off. Thank you, Casey. I appreciate you. Sync up energy. Our powers combined. We are the lifeboat. Captain Planet. Did I use Captain Planet in my thumbnail the other day? I think I did. If I didn't, I sure spent about 20 minutes trying to. Does anyone here remember that cartoon? Do you guys remember when Saturday morning cartoons tried to make saving the environment cool with Captain Planet and the Planeteers? That was like the best. I love that cartoon. They were always like fighting like deforestation, like companies and I don't know, people like pumping toxic waste out of their factories into the ocean. It was such a great show. That was a great show. Our powers combined. They all had rings. Like one of them was love. And then I forget what the other ones were, but they all like spirit. They all had like the weirdest power rings, but together they would summon Captain Planet. Yeah, Captain Planet was my jam, says Valerie. The Magic School Bus, oh my. I had like a Magic School Bus video game that I would play like on the computer when I was really, really young. I was a huge fan of that show. I also played Math Blaster. And my grandparents got me on the math and grammar video games pretty quick. I thought that was funny. That's funny. My boy cousins on my dad's side made fun of me for it. That's sad. Now the joke's on them. Now the joke's on them. Gonna take pollution down to zero. That's right, Mr. Ray Ray. You know. Yeah, he was green. I heard that they were going to do a live action and then didn't. And I saw like thumbnails and like concept artwork for it, and it looked like it could have been pretty cool. But he was like the color of the ocean or the sky. He was like blue-green. Oh, word, Casey. Word, word, word. Bird is the word. Bird, bird, bird. Making candles. I'd like to put in an order request, and I'm willing to pay. I'm willing to pay for some candles. Um, this place could use some candles. I think I have some sweet candlestick holders too, and I just need some candles to put in them. Ice on the oils. I wonder if I have anything else I want to say about the fourth dimension before I just forget about it. I'm sure we'll revisit it one day. It's a great, great topic that I really haven't even scratched the surface on. Goosebump 801. Good morning. I have been struggling to make myself journal this morning. Finally decided to just jump in here with y'all. I didn't post any prompts last night, so that might have something to do with it. Look out for some prompts this morning. I will post the one for last night anyways, even though it's already past last night, just for completion's sake. I'm somewhat of a completionist sometimes, so I'll just post last night's and this morning after this one. It is an outstanding topic, Tara. In fact, if you want to come on the show and have a dialogue about it one time, that would be super cool, I think. I think that I was actually just thinking to myself yesterday and this morning when I was putting this thing together, I was like, man, I bet you Tara has so much great stuff to say about this. And Jake as well, I think. Maybe we can get a little panel together for a show. That would be pretty fun, don't you guys think? We are old now. I mean, I'm getting older. I'm still on the younger side, I think, though. Yeah, Kim, thank you for saying that. Kim says, I like the fact you're willing to talk about it without trying to talk down about it. I'm constantly trying to find ways to bring the message to everybody, whatever the message is, right? Because I know what has served me, and I know what's in my wheelhouse to talk about, right? But I also am conscious that X, Y, and Z, or maybe A, M, and L, whatever. There's just some pieces of this whole thing that together work for me, but some pieces of it, when shared with other people, I think are very polarizing. So I'm forever trying to find ways to present them and change how they look, or just make them more digestible, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Because at the end of the day, what's gonna kill us the most is not knowing, right? Imagine all the people out there that don't know about a place to go, a safe place to talk about trauma and recovery, right? Imagine people that don't know about AA. Imagine people that just are out there alone, suffering. You know what I mean? That is a thing. The lack of knowledge is the real killer. So if I can just find a way to make it the most digestible, the most widely acceptable, we can go from there. That's a great starting point. So I'm going to try and talk about everything. I'm going to all these things that I say, I don't know, this is a little polarizing. Best believe I'm trying to find a way to talk about it because it has affected my sobriety. It has affected my recovery and my journey in a huge way. Otherwise, I wouldn't have brought it up at all, So thank you for saying that, Kim. Yeah, this is something I spend a whole lot of time thinking about. And I think this was good. The fourth dimension was a good one. Spirit, right? Your gut feeling, listening to your heart. Everybody can relate with that. Peckerwood. What's going on, Russ Hampton? Listening, but also driving. We'll drive safe. And shout out to my main man, Russ. I know we keep missing the mark on that, dude, but I want you to know, no hard feelings or anything. I'm kind of flying by the seat of my pants here too. So we're gonna get it in. And we could even do it in if we're doing it on the weekend, we don't have to do it after the evening show. We can do night yard anytime. We could do night yard during the day, dog, if you want to. So just let me know. We can totally make it work. Although this Saturday, I'm going to be hanging out with Mr. Ray Ray about lunchtime. So not this Saturday. Don't do that, Mr. Ray Ray. Speaking of gut feeling, just drink tea on an empty stomach. I bet you that gut feeling ain't very good. Bet you that gut feeling ain't real good. If it's not in the Big Book Dictionary, I don't know how much I trust that thing. Word. That I was just thinking, man, that might solve our problems, Russ. You know what I mean? Like middle of the day, there's no qualms. I don't know, but yeah, thinking about it, I'll get with you maybe tomorrow when you're removed from work and you have a rested head on your shoulders. You know what I mean? We can figure it out. Shout out to Russ. Much love, brother. Drank my Kool-Aid. Kool-Aid's good. I just finished unpacking my kitchen. I know, finally, right? Found a bunch of Kool-Aid that I brought from Salt Lake. Can't wait to make it. Taking the kids to school. Have a great day, everyone. Have a blessed day as well, Subi. Yeah, I got you, Russ. Uncle Russ. Hell yeah. Yeah, me too, Christy. I try to plan a little better, but you know, I feel like I think a funny costume would be like a like a superhero costume kind of thing, but there's like a just the seat of a chair, like just the seat of it, no backing, right? Like kind of strapped to your butt with like little wings on the side. And I'm like flying by the seat of my pants, man, or something. It's an image that popped into my head the other day when I was thinking about flying by the seat of my pants. Mm-mm-mm. Shout out to Izzy. I don't know if I've seen her today or not. I feel like I haven't, but I'm wishing her well. I hope she's doing all right. It is in the dictionary. Good. It should be in there. It's like the most important, in my opinion. Or are you laughing at my flying by the seat of the pants man imagery? Right. Just imagine if like it's like the seat of this chair, right? Just the seat, just kind of strapped to my butt, and there's like little wings, you know, so you can kind of see the seat because it's bigger than my butt. And I'm just out there, like maybe shirtless with like a hat and some goggles on or something, you know? I'm like flying by the seat of my pants or something. I don't know. There would be a cooler catchphrase probably. I was thinking like little Hermes wings is what I was thinking, but big fairy wings are cool too, Kim. Just in my head, I had like little, like, you know, the wings on Hermes shoes or whatever, like just little guys, just kind of cute and stupid and silly. Seat of your pants, man. Yeah. The invisible boatmobile. Krakatoa. I hope you feel better, Matrix. Get some good rest. Did you make Izzy some dice, dude? I would love to check him out. Wicked tired, dude. Yeah, man. I hope you get some rest, brother. We'll get together later. Who's more of a Dionysus than an Apollo? Speak for yourself, Mr. Bits. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, totally. Like absolutely, Kim. Just goofy, but I'm serious. You know, like I mean it. I'm out here flying by the seat of my pants, but outside looking in, goofy. Duffster Rhymes, you look ready for a rave. You know, I decided to put some colors on this morning to hopefully just have a brighter outlook. Yeah. So sometimes I put a button up on, but sometimes I put the tie dye on. Becca Jean, sorry I'm late. My kid called from Dallas Airport, so I talked to her. Now time to get some coffee. I'm right there with you. I hope your kid's doing well, Becca. I'm glad you like it, Defsta. Sometimes when I switch things up, I'm like not sure like the actual implications. Like maybe something as simple as changing my shirt will like have this butterfly effect that's like really bad. I don't know. It's probably just my overactive imagination. Have you ever seen that movie, The Butterfly Effect, though? Traumatic. Great movie. I love that movie, but traumatic. Let me tell you. Is that why? I feel like I couldn't have a straight thought yesterday. I'm so glad my dad came in to save me. Holy crap. I was about to shut it down. My brain couldn't hold on to thoughts. I don't know what was going on, but it did not feel good. I will step them up even a little, Valerie. I have a lot in the repertoire. I'm just trying to get comfortable before I really get wild. I did kind of go a little bit into outside of my comfort zone with the pirate, the pirate getup. Although I think my pirate accent needs a little work. If I'm going to dress as a pirate, maybe I should pirate like the whole hour. I need more pirate practice, I think. Good morning, Jimena. Hi, all. I am late. We'll be here just a few minutes. This week has been crazy. Hope you're doing good, Spanx. I'm doing great, actually. This morning is fantastic. Maybe I'm a little swingy, but today we're definitely up here. And I hope that you get some serenity and some peace in your week, Jimena. Sending you all the well wishes. Would you believe in me? You missed the pirate get up, Goosebump? When was that? Let me find out. It was it attention grabbing title or was it Wacky Wednesday? I think it was Wacky Wednesday. Let's talk about it. I'm pretty certain that I called it wacky because I was going to act like a pirate. I'm clicking on it now to verify. Verification station. Population U, bro. Yes, it was Wacky Wednesday. Lots to talk about. It was streamed 1 day ago. But obviously, we know that Wednesday was 2 days ago. YouTube. Why do metal bands make so many love songs? This is a phenomenon that I accept, but don't understand. I won't say that I understand. Not the same to me now. Today's going to be a great day. No tornado forecast. I am pumped. Oh, thank the Lord. Little safety, security, and lack of fear is pretty sweet, or at least just a lack of general tornado anxiety. Is that a thing? Tornado anxiety? I can't imagine. That's awesome, Kim. I'm happy to hear it. GG. Hey, Spanx. It's nearly 1 a.m. here. Just got home. Hi, guys. Well, I'm glad you made it home safe, GG. I hope you get some rest. Also, super stoked that you decided to stop in and say hello. We always love it when you stop by. Yar. Yeah, if I just end every sentence with arg, it's probably fine. Crazy cat woke me kneading my stomach and purring. Very cute, but also, excuse me, ma'am, you are mashing my bladder. This is true. Because heat shapes metal. Why metal bands make so many love songs? I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. It's a stretch. I'll give it to you, though. Yeah, that made me smile. That particular ballad that I was listening to was from like more recently, but the song was called Kill to Believe, and it's a love song, I think. No, maybe it's like a hate song. Maybe I was confused. The band makes another song called Love in Slow Motion. That's a pretty sweet love song, but it's super gnarly. If you're not into metal, do not look it up. And when I say metal, I'm not talking about Twisted Sister. I'm talking about like Cannibal Corpse. If you're not into Cannibal Corpse, don't look those songs up. I was trying to think of a good song of the day today, and I'm pretty sure I found one and then forgot it. I think it's. I must have to give it to you though, because it was a really good one. Stupid. I need a new phone charger. Maybe I'll get that today. Please hold. Thank you for your patience. There it is. The Good Life. Is this what I wanted to share? I don't think so. I'm like reluctant to share songs that have like an electronic element to it. Like if they could even be slightly considered EDM, I'm like, I don't know if I want to share that. Maybe I won't. Two Rows of Sharons yesterday. Great metal song. And today, Gardenia and Cherry Tree is going in the ground. I need blooms and renewing life around me. Well, it certainly seems like you're doing a good job of setting it up. I tell you what. Flamin' Jackson, we love you too. Hey, Izzy E, I was just thinking about you. Just back from mowing the lawn. I bet you it is fresh AF out there. Something about the smell of fresh cut grass just does it for me. English pirate? It's a real thing, huh? Interesting. I'll get you, my pretty. Yeah, tornadoes totally make me think of the Wizard of Oz, too. Good morning, Izzy. I hope your day is fantastic so far. It does sound productive at the very least. We have been talking a little bit about the fourth dimension. We've been talking about my first love reaching back out to me this morning. We were talking about coffee and health. We were talking about being a pirate for fun, for funsies. We were also talking about so much stuff this morning, Izzy, so much. I live in Nebraska. The standing joke is we watch Dorothy fly by. That is hilarious. That's absolutely what that phone booth in Doctor Who was about, Ben Bacon Bits. Great use of the fourth dimension. Um, I mean, like, so if you think about dimensions, right? I'm trying to think of a good example, like an ant. An ant's world is like we're in the same world, right? But like an ant can't see us. Like we're not, I shouldn't say that, like it can, but like to an ant, we are in a different dimension. Um, and that's really all I have to say about that. I thought I was going to explain that better, but yeah, what would the fourth dimension be? Think about that. We could definitely describe it or explain it in many different ways. I choose the spiritual, the love part. I think that yeah, ants are almost two dimensional. Absolutely, not quite. Now my head is spinny. Lol. Yeah, it's a confusing concept. It definitely can get your brain wrapped around itself. So don't push too hard. It's completely fine. Suffice it to say, love and connection are the fourth dimension. Suffice it to say that moving with love in your heart, living heart forward, trying to just be better than you were the day before, trying to spread this love and serenity that you found with someone else that desperately needs it. That's the fourth dimension. Yeah, I'm a little bit of a philosophizer. Yes, I made that word up, and I like it now. Oh, wow. Now I'm just going to be thinking about this topic all day. Well, Jimena, you'll have to share your thoughts with us this evening. I would love to have more of a dialogue about it. Space Jeezel. One time I smoked salvia and I turned into the couch for eternity. It was terrifying. Dude, I have heard so many diverse salvia experiences. One guy told me that he became a dragon and the two people he was with became puddles of everything that was good and puddle of everything that was bad. And he had to like talk his way out of it or something. I don't know. It was an interesting concept. The only thing that ever happened to me when I smoked salvia was I was in slow motion for 15 minutes. And that sounds like whatever. It was not that cool. It was actually kind of like WTF. I was like, oh, I guess I'm going to smoke a cigarette. It was just not it was not fun. But I hear it also comes in like different strengths or whatever. So I probably didn't do the same stuff that you did. But that doesn't sound fun, dude. The couch for eternity. It's like, oh, people are gonna sit on me for the rest of eternity. That sounds terrible. Yes, salvia the flower, Carol. They sell salvia in smoke shops, and they rate them by X being the potency. So I don't know if they're doing something to the flower, extracting the root. I don't know exactly how it works, but it is coming from the plant. It is natural, but it's gnarly. It's super gnarly. I have not really heard anything good ever about a salvia trip experience, whatever, what have you. Every single one of them sounds like a bad dream, Dusta. Every single salvia experience I've ever heard sounds like a bad dream. Some way worse than others, right? Like the whole slow motion thing, like, okay, if this goes on for eternity, nightmare. But, 15 minutes, that's not too bad. And that, Kim, is the gut feeling. That's your instincts, right? That's your insides. That is exactly what we're talking about with the fourth. You get it. You get it. And that's why I try to present it in those like terms, because it's going to be unique and different for everyone else, because we all experience this world uniquely in our own ways. And I think that that's largely due to the spirit, this element that we don't fully understand, right? Something that we can't fully quantify, this fourth dimension. But I try to explain it in ways that we can all kind of like decide how it applies to us. But there is like that common instinctual feeling. We all are instinctual creatures, right? If we weren't, we wouldn't have become the dominant race on the planet. Maybe sharks with laser beams, with freaking laser beams, would be ruling the world if we didn't have this fourth dimension thing. Maybe they figure it out first, and then it's like shark people. Anyways, it's a little too much. Yeah, today I'm going to, I don't know, I had plans. I feel like maybe I just need to finish cleaning up the crib. I feel like I wrote it down. I'll get to it, whatever, I'll remember. Tomorrow, got some plans with Mr. Ray Ray. I missed my meeting last night, which kind of sucks. I'm kind of sad about that, but I did get a ton of sleep, and I think I'm going to take a day off this week, or a night off. I haven't decided yet, but I feel like regularly taking either a show or a day off is largely beneficial. I know my dad probably would never do that. And I don't know if he'll understand, but I'm gonna do that. I think I'm gonna need to do that. And maybe it doesn't have to be like once a week, right? It doesn't have to necessarily even be consistent, like the same. It doesn't have to be a regular thing. But if it's not, then I'm gonna have to be able to like call it a day in advance or something. Like I'm gonna have to be able to know when I'm nearing when I'm nearing the territory where it becomes necessary. So I don't know exactly how we're going to handle that yet, but I am conscious of the need for days off, much more than my dad needed days off. And maybe he needs days off exactly the same as I do, and he just ignores that much better, far, far better than I do. Um, but yeah, it's not his boat. That's right, Seventh. And I mean, I don't want to. It's hard for me to say stuff like that because I'm so grateful and humbled. Like he built this mofo. So I want to remain humble and grateful, but I do need to do like what's right for me, right? And it's going to be different than what's right for him. But I do totally in my head and my heart still compare it to him as like a metric, which I shouldn't. I should not ever be doing that because we're different, and he's a machine. Like if I work half as hard as he does, and maybe I shouldn't say that because I just work differently. Maybe I don't think that I'm working less hard, but I'm telling you, like what he does and the way that he does it blows my mind. Like he is a machine and he's my hero. But I'm not capable of doing things the way that he does. I have to do them my way, and my way is definitely going to be taking some time. But thinking about it, it's a fine line. You don't want to take too much time. It's really easy to take too much time. So, but I think a weekend here or there is good. There's this super duper legendary Swedish death metal band coming to town next weekend, and I really want to go to Phoenix to see them. But I don't know if I'll get to because I'll have to like rent a car. It's like a long shot. Um, but they're going to be in the States for like 5 shows, and one of them is in Phoenix on the 31st of May. So maybe that's 2 weeks from now. But being conscious of that, I'd like to leave myself the opportunity to take the 31st either off or the evening of the 31st off. So I don't know. We'll see. Stay tuned for me possibly taking time off. Kim, the band is called Bloodbath. And they are death metal elite. They're the death metal band. Well, I shouldn't say that. They're the Swedish death metal band. And we can get into the history of death metal a little bit for a second, but it's predominantly an Eastern European thing. And in I guess a Northern Europe, I don't know, like a Swedish, Norway, like from that area. It's traditionally a regional thing. But there is American homegrown death metal. It has spread and become other things, right? But originally, it was something that came out of Europe. So the fact that this particular band is going to be in the States is a very, very big deal. I'm a big fan of the Headbanging Muppets. Nordic, that's right, Ben. That was the word. I do go to metal shows, Space Diesel, although I've been struggling to find ones that are worth going to since I moved here, but I have remained patient. And now, not only is possibly once in a lifetime opportunity to see Bloodbath coming up, but Mastodon, one of my favorite bands of all time, is coming in August. I've seen Mastodon like 3 or 4 times. I will see them maybe 3 or 4 more. Who knows? Try being camera ready twice a day, 7 days a week. Your dad couldn't do it in the long run either. Love you, Val. You are awesome. Thank you for saying that. I will totally get my passport and come to Montreal. Would love that. Would love that. I'm actually, my passport has been on my mind a lot recently, and I'm going to be going into that office and getting that process started ASAP. If anyone has a friend in the passport office, or if anyone has family or something in there, let me know. I haven't applied. I've never had one, and I'm about to do it. I'm about to do the thing. I'm pretty sure Despised Icons from Montreal. It's like one of my other favorite bands. I like a lot of music. You shouldn't have to get to the point of feeling badly before taking a day off. Everyone deserves at least one day a week off. If not, your body does remind you. Not fun. And you're right. Metal shows every week. Are you serious? Is that what it's like out there, Izzy? Don't pull my leg, all right? I mean, and I say that playfully. I don't think you would pull. I mean, I guess you probably would pull my leg. You're funny. But anyways, yeah, is that really how it is? Weekly? That's insane. Oh my. That sounds like paradise, Izzy. For me at least. Just be out there headbanging all the time. Don't you know who I am? Tara smiling. Review several times a week. Oh my, it's even more frequently than weekly. Local post office, it's that simple, huh? I'm still like learning some regular adult stuff, like where to go for a passport. Come to Scotland during the Fringe Festival, good weather, and acts from all over the world. You'd love it. I've always wanted to go to Scotland. Ever since the first time I saw Braveheart and I seen like the shots of the moors, I'm like, oh my, I just want to I want to stand on that rock and look out over that. That looks serene. I would love to, Dufsta. There is a world tour in the works, and it's probably not nearly as close as some of these other plans that we've made and talked about, but like this is going to be reality. I will not rest until it is. This is part of my vision of the boat. We're going to expand this thing. It's going to become bigger, but also it's going to become something else entirely. Like it's going to become something that's out of my hands, and that's completely by design. I think that's a good thing. I would like, I don't know, yeah. So the whole mobile thing is a part of that, and the world tour thing's a part of that as well. Need an appointment at most post offices to get a passport. Well, I'll either go on the website, Sandy Wandy, or give them a call. Probably as soon as I turn this thing off, because otherwise I'll forget and I won't do it. I also need to remember to post those journal prompts after this. Feeling brand new. Oh, I've always wanted to go to Australia. Although the spiders and the crazy stuff that you see in media, I feel like the media doesn't want me to go to Australia. Every time I see a spider bigger than my face, I'm like, no, no. I'm sure I can apply online. That is a good thought. I didn't even think about that until you said that, Dufsta. Um, and that's just going to be on my to-do list today. It's I have time and energy today to do that. So I have no idea how much they cost, but I imagine it's going to cost me a couple hundred. And I feel like I understand a snake more than I understand a spider. I feel like I can abide snakes. And honestly, I generally abide spiders. I feel like I try not to kill them because they benefit me largely by getting rid of other bugs, and they're sacred to certain peoples. And I don't know. I try to respect spiders. And Tony was a huge fan of spiders. There's a lot of reasons why I stopped killing spiders, but I forgot what I was talking about. But when they get this big, I don't know if the same rules apply. That's what I was going to say. you know? Good morning, Timber June. Well, I've got your back, Defsta, if you've got mine, all right? I'll take care of the spiders. Or pardon me, I'll take care of the snakes. You take care of the spiders. I mean, at least the snakes have two eyes and just that, right? The whole 8 eye, 8 leg, the whole thing is just, you know. Yeah. Yeah, Tony had last time I saw Tony, he had I want to say like 27 terrariums in his bedroom between him and his girlfriend. Some of them were his, some of them were hers. But like so, like let's say this box that is my fingers is like a bedroom, and there's like a the bed's like in the center, but on the back wall, this whole wall was like a shelf with terrariums. So like yeah, they had a wall of terrariums. I don't know, yay big. They're varying sizes, new world, old world, all tarantulas. For me, terrifying. For him, very nice. He was really into it. Terrifying. Have you ever looked up pictures of old world tarantulas? They come in many different sizes, colors, shapes. Some of them are pink, blue, green, purple, red. They're orange. They are crazy scary looking. But they're just big spiders. Big hairy colorful spiders, dude. Yeah, you and Kim, you and Tony would have gotten along very, very well. I'm telling you what, when I get surprised by spiders, it's all bets are off. I'm not a big fan of surprises. I'm a very reactionary person. So I mean, I might just I might react or just I don't know. Who knows? I try it when I can to not crush a spider. Yeah, that was a fast interview. How'd it go? Tommy loves spiders. Yeah, I have it on good authority that he doesn't. Don Gloves, good morning. I don't know if I said hello to you yet. So I'm just making sure that I say hello. So how short is the summer in Montreal? Izzy, I'm gonna have to be honest. I think this summer is probably too soon, especially with the things that are popping up on my schedule, like the November getting back with the OG squad. Did I tell you guys about that? Um, like my original fire crew, like the ones that I connected with super hard, is probably going to be taking a hiatus because our leader, our fearless fire queen, is moving to Mexico and live her dreams, and going to spend some time doing other things. So, but we're all getting together in November for the regional burn in Hawaii because our one of our good buds has been out there for a while, and he has been appointed head of opening ceremony or something. So the Fire Muse is getting back together for one last hoorah. So I have to be in Hawaii in November. Otherwise, I'm missing out on a crazy experience. But really excited, guys. And I say that again because I don't know if I had shared that with Izzy or not, but Izzy can totally appreciate the fire. All right, I think I'm gonna eat some food, guys. Big Island, Kristen. We'll be going to Big Island in November for the regional burn. Yeah, I think I need to eat some food and do some things. Are there lots of tarantulas in Phoenix, Kim? Pink Tarantula would be a killer band name. Dude, imagine all the artwork and the imagery. We'd have to get like a something for the kick drum, like a big pink tarantula sticker or something that just looks super gnarly on like a big white drum set. Like I don't know. I totally agree, Seventh. Forward your name to the regional manager. That sounds like a win. Awakened is a fan of spiders. The best part about Hawaii is when you left. You'll have to tell me about it when we get together, dude. Yes, ma'am. I will totally end up taking you up on that. Maybe next summer. I don't think yeah, I don't need to dwell on it too much. Obviously the desire is there. We will make it happen. I mean, metal every week is heaven on earth, I feel like. To be honest. I could just picture myself romping around. Oh my. What would your last manager say you need to work on? Feel like I feel like I need to prepare for such questions. Even if it's like, I don't know, I shouldn't say that probably. I mean, I could fourth dimension my way to Montreal, but when I fourth dimension my way to Burning Man, I come back and quit my job and like move out of my house. And so I would like to not have any adverse side effects to fourth dimensioning if I can help it. So I'm going to try and just, you know what I mean, Tara? Have you ever fourth dimensioned really hard and then been like, oh, wait, all of this has to change now because you just can't look at it the same? Maybe I'm getting a little off the mark there, but definitely I feel like I have to be careful how I fourth dimension. Yeah, the last Burning Man was known for being Mudman, and I think people forget, especially the 3 years that I went, there was only one moment where I was like, wow, we might not make it. And I'll tell you about it. But people forget that this is extreme camping. Like, we're in one of the most inhospitable environments on the planet, and we're going to live there for a week. We're going to go out there, we're going to build an infrastructure, and we're going to build an entire city, and we're going to live here in the city for a week. You know what I mean? People forget. So when it rains leading up to Burning Man, and then it rains all week, then you have buses and campers stuck in, then all of a sudden, all the people that think it's just some party, all the people that showed up not really knowing what's going on, that aren't prepared, to survive in extreme conditions, coming out of the woodwork, which is it's a very last year was very interesting. I did not go, but I had a bunch of friends that went. I'm super grateful I didn't go because I would have been bare minimum roughing it, and I might have been camping in hypothermia land. So I'm really glad I didn't do that. I would not have been prepared for that eventuality. But the one time in the 3 years that I've been that was really sketchy was, and this honestly compared to testimony from people I talked to that were there with me at this thing, this was nothing compared to some other stuff that has happened. But I remember there was a dust storm basically that kicked up, and I couldn't see the computer screen in front of my face. Like, I couldn't see that far. Even with like a floodlight, spotlight, you can't see anything. And we decided in that storm that was like just would not end, just going, tearing stuff up. Like, if you didn't have your camp secured and anchored and whatnot properly, like, this storm was carrying people's stuff away. And it went on for hours and hours and hours. We decided we were sick of hunkering down. We were going to go out and see what was going on in the city that night. So we like bundled up and put our goggles on and got all our gear and, masks that you can breathe, and got on our bicycles and strapped the wagon up, put all our fire stuff in it. We were like, whatever happens, we're ready, and we rode out down the street. And honestly, I don't think that we necessarily had an idea of where we were going because, like maybe a general idea, right? But you can't really see nothing. We ended up at this really cool camp that was from Mexico, and we pull up like the dust kind of clears and you can see like lights and hear music and like there's people like dancing in the distance. And we pulled up with this really really cool camp that we had found in this dust storm. But anyways, I digress. The that dust storm was so vicious. I thought that it might destroy our whole camp and maybe we wouldn't have shelter for the rest of the week. But we made it. We made it, and in fact, we rode that storm instead of hiding from it. We rode that mofo. Burning Man versus Wild. Tommy Bird, good morning. When I'm naked, everyone's afraid. Uh-oh. Keep your clothes on, man. Philly Donna. You know, guys, I feel like y'all are getting into such great conversations. I might just turn my camera off and go eat, and leave you guys to it. So hit that like, subscribe, and the bell for notifications if you like what we do here. It certainly makes a difference. Catch the Admiral at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time tonight, and me at 5 p.m. Pacific time tonight. And then also Carol at Needing a Meeting will be simulcasting to the Lifeboat today at 1:40 p.m. Pacific. Please go over to Carol at Needing a Meeting's channel and show her some love. We certainly love Carol. And I hope you all have a wonderful day, all right? We're going to see you soon. I'm going to leave this thing up, so don't leave if you want to keep hanging out and talking to your friends, but I'm out. And yeah, we'll see you later. Good morning, everyone. It is Monday. Sometimes they say Monday fun day. Hopefully that's today. You're on the lifeboat. Let's do a little roll call. How's everyone doing? I hope your week is fantastic. We're gonna make a strong start. Good week start with butt kicking Mondays. Good weeks start with solid Mondays. You know? Jamie Smith, Rexican Messler, Resonate, Scooby Lee, Plant Freak, Teresa, good to see y'all. Brianna Miller, Lumen, Sandy Wandy, Nicole Jonker, Charlie Mullins, Mara, West Coast Fancy Nancy, Plant Freak, Jason P. I saw Jason P. I had made a different video idea this morning, and Jason P. was the first in the chat, and then I deleted that and changed my mind about what we were going to do this morning. So shout out to Jason P. for being ready for whatever. I appreciate you, brother. Shannon Smith, thanks for coming out. Krista Melinda, the seventh son, Brazy Girl, Mischief Managed, Jill Anderson, Sierra. Good to see everybody here this morning. Rogue Hedgie. Heck yeah. Hope everyone's having a good morning. Deeming. Russ. I see you, bud. Heck yeah. Miss Sunrise Dawn. Thanks everybody for your patience in this transition. And thanks for strapping in for it. Seems to be going all right. This morning, I think we're going to bring the Admiral on. I'll be honest with you, I'm not holding out much hope. I Live for Now has something for you.
Okay, what does it say?
It says, Tommy, I heard you mention kratom yesterday, and I've been using it to get off pain meds for migraines. What do you think about using kratom to help with my dependency on pain meds?
Kratom. I would never judge how anybody gets off of an opiate, right? If that works for you, fantastic. My opinion on kratom is that it does work on the receptor, which is the same receptor in your body that heroin or any other morphine molecule is going to work on. If you're going to go that route, I would recommend that you go with Suboxone, right? Because it's made in a lab by a bunch of people that have actually figured out what the dosage is so that you can wean off without, too much of of anxiety that you get from trying to wean off other things. My fear with kratom is that there is zero regulation on that. The Food and Drug Administration doesn't acknowledge that it exists. It is sold as a supplement or as a whatever, and they can put in it just about anything they want because there's no the FDA, whether you like big pharma or not, every strip of Suboxone is the same as the previous strip of Suboxone, and you know what you're getting. And it's been very, very effective, and it's actually going to block the receptor. What kratom does is get the receptor high, right? It is an agonist. It's not, it is going in there and turning the receptor on and actually, doing the same thing heroin does, same thing pain meds do. Whereas Suboxone would be an agonist antagonist, right? By blocking it and making you think that you've done the drug, but you're not going to feel any kind of a buzz. I think that's my personal opinion. But if it's working, man, then keep swinging for the fences because anything that gets you off the crap that's on the street right now. Don't you agree? I mean, this stuff's poison.
That's a big deal. And getting off, it's a big deal. And whatever you're doing, being the same, consistent every time, knowing that it's going to be the same every time, money can't buy that kind of security. That's pretty cool.
And the coolest thing about it, whether it's Sublocade, which I think may be the better bet, I just have not done it, right? I've never done the injection, so I can't speak to it yet, although that's my next step. What makes Suboxone so cool, Calhoun, is that fortunately, you probably don't remember a lot of this from youth, but you live, right? Running to a parking lot to get dope and then running back to whatever you steal. Your day is, once you take all that off the table, which is what Suboxone does, more than anything else, what Suboxone does is eliminates the drug dealer, eliminates the need to come up with all of that cash, and all of a sudden you go, holy hell, I got a lot of time on my hands.
I just got paid $60,000 for my car crash from using this app on my phone. And I don't know if you could see this, but it's called the Case Connect Compensation Calculator right here. And it's for $60,000 and I'm about to go cash it. For those of you that don't know what Case Connect is, it's one of the largest settlement payout companies in the world. They developed this app that has helped over 140,000 people get paid huge checks after their car accidents. The app asks you 4 simple questions, then compares your car accident to millions of other accidents. Then it can tell you instantly if you qualify for a huge check like I got here. The first time I learned about this was 3 years ago from Angelo. So Angelo was in a bad car accident, lost his car, lost everything, and the insurance companies weren't trying to give him a cent. Angelo shared this video that went viral of him using the Case Connect app and getting a $120,000 check for his car accident in only 3 months. Unfortunately, I was actually in a car accident. I was stopped at a red light and some distracted driver crashed into the back of my car. I hurt my back, totaled my car, and to top it all off, I had lost my job since I had no way to get to work. Luckily, I saw Angelo's video and I said, I should try that. So I clicked the link to the app he used, and within a few seconds, it told me my accident qualified for a huge check. Fast forward just 60 days, and here I am. I was able to replace the income from my job, pay off all my bills, and I got a new car. So I shared the app on my page with a video like this, and Tina used it. She ended up getting a check for $140,000. Then I shared it with Tyler. He's my friend who got in an accident, and he got $183K with the same app. So the best part about all of this is that it is so beginner friendly, and I want to show you how easy it is. So you click the link I put in this video, go ahead and click it now. You answer 4 simple questions, then within seconds, it tells you if you qualify for a huge check. Then it can...
You know what I mean? Like, I could probably get a job. I could probably raise a family. I could probably, do things that normal people do.
Jen Saw Hater has an interesting take. I got more of a buzz from subs and kratom, but that's just me. I've noticed
No, that's not
in many
necessarily.
cases.
Yeah, that's not necessarily a bad or a wrong take. Suboxone is one of the strongest opiates feeling wise that you are ever going to feel if you've never done drugs. If you've not done opiates of any kind, one strip of Suboxone will be so strong it's going to make you viciously ill. Right? The average person could not take 8 milligrams of Suboxone, which is what comes in a film. You would get violently ill. In prison, they'll take one of those strips and they will cut it into 32 or 64 pieces. And a 16th of one of those strips will take somebody who has never had an opioid addiction and get them high. And I mean high. Like you'll see them in the day room nodding out looking like, but we're talking about this used to treat opiate use disorder, which would be like somebody who has ADHD taking Ritalin, right? If I take Ritalin, I'm going to bounce off the wall like a ping pong ball. But if somebody with ADHD takes Ritalin, that's not going to happen, right? They're going to calm down because they have a chemical imbalance in the brain that this levels out. Suboxone does something different to people with opiate abuse disorder. I've never felt anything off of a Suboxone of any kind, but I know what it would do to anybody that has not been on opiates. That's why it is the number one abused drug inside of jails and prisons, because it's very easy to smuggle, and people that have never done that drug will get really, really high on it.
That is very interesting.
Happy birthday.
Happy
Can you
birthday.
read that, Calhoun? Because
she wants us to sing happy birthday. Mischief Manage says, thank you very much, Mischief. It's my birthday, so here's a gift for you. Would the 3 Scovilles be able to say happy birthday? I want to show my kid.
Happy birthday. Johnny Scoville, can you throw Mischief Managed a happy birthday? She's showing off for her kid. It is a birthday today.
Happy birthday.
You hear that? Get yourself over to Chase the Heat today, because you are going to get an official shout out on Chase the Heat. And it is Mischief Managed's birthday, but she's showing off for her daughter. Wow. See that? You got Johnny Scoville on the mission. There you go.
On deck.
Oh, swinging for fences. Happy birthday.
Fantastic. Thank you for that detailed answer, Pops. You're always much better with opiate stuff than I am, just because of your experience.
You know what? Just the here's the deal. I've caught so much crap over the course of the time that I've been in the rehabilitation game because of Suboxone. It is the most debated subject on earth. And you know what? It used to get my goat. You have no idea. But what I've come to realize is that people that really struggle with the fact that people do opiates are really outside their lane. In the time I've been doing this, right? 20,000, I don't know how many subscribers, right? I've never said you're right addicted, you're sober, you're not sober, and boy, I hope you never do either, right?
Oh no, we've got the one rule on the boat is everybody love everybody.
Yeah, and you know, the only person who can tell you you got a drug problem or you don't have a drug problem, I assure you, is you, right?
And that's what you're talking about is called taking someone's inventory. And
I
the only
love that.
person that can take your inventory is you. You know what I mean? It's all really subjective, and it
Love
has to
that.
be. If you start taking other people's inventory and letting other people take your inventory, lots of undesirable things are going to happen in your recovery. So, it's own it. It's yours. It's your recovery. It's your program. You don't have to do it how anyone else says, but we are trying to come together and put our heads together here to figure out, better ways to live, better ways to
Yeah.
do it.
Well, peer support works, right? I mean, that's the one thing that there are people that love to debate if 12-step programs are great or if, hypoism. There's about like 9 different ways that people approach the modalities of sobriety. And guess what? All of them have a 10% success rate. The across the board, whether you're inpatient, outpatient, whatever you do, they all have a 10% success rate. This format that you're doing has a much higher chance of success because the 150 people or whatever who are here because they want to be here, right? No one's being forced to be here. No one is getting, they're not doing this against their will, which is unfortunately what happens to a lot of 12-step programs because of the court systems. When you got in trouble, Calhoun, did they order you into 12-step programs?
I don't think so.
No?
Maybe.
They did me.
I feel
Every
like I
single
was
time
never that guy, luckily.
Yeah, every time I got in trouble, the first thing they do, and what was funny is I wasn't in trouble for drugs,
Well,
right?
see,
I
when
wasn't even in trouble for drugs.
I would get in trouble with my mom, and she would take me to meetings that she was going to because she wouldn't trust me to be at home alone.
Yeah,
So I did end up going to a lot of meetings against my will, but it's not like I was forced to participate. I could run around the church or do whatever.
right.
Um,
No, what I
I
had to do was I would have to show up with a piece of paper for my probation officer,
have to get assigned.
right? Or court services. This is another one that's very popular. Is that if you are on bail, like if you bail yourself out before you go to jail, anyone who is on in the state of Nevada, anyone that was on bail had to go. You were already having to go to these programs, and which doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't make a lot of sense. It really doesn't.
Hey, I'm Katie with StreamYard, and today I'm going to teach you about our new feature, Local Recordings. We are super excited to give you even more ways to level up your recordings, podcasts, webinars, whatever you make on StreamYard. All of these methods of content creation are already possible in StreamYard, but local recording makes post-production and repurposing your content easier and cleaner than before. Local recordings on StreamYard are separate, smooth, freeze-free, high-quality audio and video tracks for all participants in a studio. When enabled, the local recording feature will record every component of the broadcast separately, creating individual files for your audio and video feeds. As a host, to enable the feature, you'll need to head to the settings inside any studio and click our new option here, Recording. In Recording, there's an option that says Record locally for each participant. Select this checkbox. Then you can choose here whether you want to record both audio and video or audio only. The way you create broadcasts and recordings is also a bit different now. To create a broadcast or recording, click Create, then choose Live Stream or Recording. With Live Stream,
Metric Console is asking about Suboxone and chronic pain.
I'm trying to read it. Can you read that to me?
Tommy, I don't understand then. If you don't feel anything on Suboxone, then why do doctors lie and tell chronic pain patients who do not have OUD, don't know what that is, that Suboxone will help their chronic pain.
Opiate use disorder. If the patients do not have opiate use disorder, then they're going to feel Suboxone. Right. So a doctor can, but they usually will not use Suboxone, and what they'll use is Subutex, which is the same drug. It's buprenorphine. The guy that invented this stuff's name was John Lewis, and he was the goal of this drug was not to create something to get you off of other drugs. He was trying to create a painkiller, right? It was an attempt at making a safer kind of a pain medication. Now, it kind of missed the mark. It's not the greatest pain medication on planet Earth. Now, do doctors take all of this stuff? They don't. They read a lot of reports on it, but the vast majority of these people don't have any idea what it feels like to treat pain, because the vast majority of them have not been in the kind of pain that you are in. And I've been there. I've sat in doctors' offices, and you know what? It's almost worse when you get the doctor that, I talked about the doctor that was, my pain management doctor when I lived in Utah, but it was, what do you want? 12 OxyContin 80s a day, and here's some injections for breakout pain, and here's some this, and here's some that. It's sad. It's a horrible medical field to go into, because you can't do anything right. Know what I mean? Lisa Trimble, it's good to see you. You know what, Calhoun, I don't know how well you've gotten to know Lisa. Lisa's one of my favorite people.
Not very well. She has been present for, I think, all of my videos, but she'll say hello and then get to lurking, which is totally fine. I always say hello when I see her.
Dirty mouse.
Scared to death.
Keep going.
Take my low dose Xanax for anxiety, depression. But I have to go places sometimes, so I have to take a psych appointment this week. Hopefully she'll give me something better.
This is such a hard thing, right? This is such a hard thing, because once again, this is a discussion, and this is a channel where there are a lot of people who abuse Xanax, right? So for that reason, if we talk about Xanax on this channel, we're probably not saying a lot of good stuff about it. Right? There are a lot of people on planet Earth that Xanax is a miracle for, right? There are a lot of people on planet Earth that OxyContin is a miracle for, just not anybody here. But Dirty Mouse, if you're not, I don't think you need to feel guilty for taking something you're prescribed if you're taking it the way it's prescribed. Have really open discussion and dialogue with your doctor. But if you're doing things the way that your doctor has prescribed it, and it is doing what it is supposed to do, I don't know that you should be beating yourself up.
Ativan and Xanax are two different kinds of drugs.
Well, you know what? They're both benzos, but one has they are very different drugs. One has a component in it that is supposed to kind of make you feel sort of happier.
Yeah, Ativan doesn't operate like
Xanax. It's a different drug. Yeah. One, lorazepam, right, which is Ativan versus alprazolam. I abused the crap out of Ativan, and I did it because of the difference between it and Xanax. I'm not a huge Xanax fan.
I was never into the benzos. They used to just make me really mad, and I was prescribed Ativan for a while.
I could have predicted, no disrespect, but I could have predicted with your personality that Xanax would have been a bad call. Same with me.
And not only is it a bad call, it's a very bad call.
This is for a lot of people.
Mistake.
You know what it is that if drugs like benzos or before benzos, barbiturates, alcohol too, the first thing that it's going to do is it's going to change your inhibitions and how you process, right? That's frightening, is that the first thing that goes is your ability to process things. So all the decisions you make on the rest of the night aren't worth a fart. And, I'm not a benzo guy, never have been.
Danielle McCoy says, thank you for the love yesterday about my dead spots in my hippocampus. Encephalitis survivor, but it has caused a lot of permanent brain issues. Sending love to you all. Love right back to you, Danielle. I brought that up because I'm sure my dad can relate, and I'm sure he's got some love and support for you as well.
Absolutely. You know what? The dialectic behavioral training I think is the best thing that we have this, and we're going to get up and have some coffee and hang out on a lifeboat, right? Mara says, my mom was a zombie on Xanax, but functional on Ativan. I'm not surprised by that. I'm
Also,
not. Go ahead.
I was going to say, shout out to Area. He's got his 7-year-old around. He won't be spending too much time in the chat this morning, but I just wanted to make sure I gave him a shout out.
Stay safe, my brother.
Tommy Bird was addicted to Xanax. It's a vicious addiction, from what I understand. I never could consume enough of them, consistently, to develop an issue, because it was always just an issue when I had one or two.
I'm blown away that he weaned off of a benzo successfully, right? And doing that alone is a hard thing to do.
It's a vicious drug.
It's a vicious drug, and people don't understand just how seriously dangerous it is. Mark Wages tells the story of watching somebody pass away in a day room where he was in, from acute benzo withdrawal. I've watched people pass, but I've seen it happen. I've never seen it live.
When you have seizures in withdrawal, is that an opiate thing or is that a benzo thing?
You with opiates, you're not going to seize in withdrawal. You're not. I mean, unless you have a medical condition, right? But if you're a normal
mom
person,
does not have that.
Right. If you're just a normal person, then it is a non-issue. Benzos or alcohol, right? If you quit cold turkey, your body will go into seizures, and it absolutely can kill you.
Okay, this is going to sound a little nuts, but the fastest and easiest way to get a few extra $1,000 is not from working the job. It's applying.
Brandon Calloway, 4 weeks sober.
Good for you, brother. Good for you.
I'm dropping Molesky for you, brother.
Yeah, I will drop that off to you today too. Tommy, are you telling me that Suboxone is going to treat my pain as well as oxycodone does? Absolutely not. When my doctor retires, I may be forced to take Suboxone because no one will continue prescribing opiates. No, Matt, I'm sorry, I'm not telling you that. I can't tell you that. It's not even going to be close. Out of curiosity, how much? What are they giving you in terms of oxycodone? How much of it are you taking, if you don't mind? Just because it's kind of relevant. But no, one of those is a ripping painkiller. If they're going to take you off, and I'm not a doctor, right? But of the long-term stuff to treat pain, I would look at, if it were me and I had your situation, I'd be looking at methadone. And I know people go, but methadone is a fantastic painkiller. And if you live with long-term pain, well, then the side effects of every painkiller are something that you're going to have to deal with. That one is very, very inexpensive, right? So insurance companies don't usually freak out about it. And it has the longest half-life of any drug known to man, right? So when you put it into the body, it treats pain. You can really effectively treat pain with it. I know that no one likes to hear that because it's such an ugly word, but yeah. But no, it's not going to treat it that well, Metric. I'm sorry. I wish that it would, but there's nothing that's going to treat it that well, sadly.
Sorry for that sound. It needed to happen.
That was a good one, Calvin.
It was really
sounded like two baseball bats hitting each other.
Yeah, it might have been a mistake in hindsight, whatever.
No, you're right, though.
Zelda Z has a question. On opioids for chronic pain for 30 years, off for 6 months. No energy and body wouldn't work. Tried a lot of other meds to no avail. Back on 1.5 a day. Working well? Thoughts?
If it's working well, fantastic.
Yeah, I agree.
It's working well, fantastic, right? I don't think you're doing anything. 40 milligrams a day. Metric, I'm going to get to you back on that in one sec. But
and I have I got your question over to the side here, so I won't lose you.
Thank you. On opiates for chronic, 30. The fact that you were off for 6 months, had no energy, and your body wouldn't work is not a shocker for a lot of reasons, right? I was on opiates for 30 years, right? I did that for 3 decades, and I came off of them, and I was off of them for 5 years, and was really struggling that entire time with the same kind of things you're describing. I was getting up and doing yoga. I was walking 6 or 7 miles a day, but I did not like any of it. It was absolutely horrific, the entire process. And I met a doctor who said, you really should try Suboxone, which is not how people get on Suboxone, right? Normally they get on it to get off of the drug that they're, and I was not on a drug, but it was absolutely a godsend, plain and simple.
All right, we got Metro right here as well.
Okay.
Continuity.
Mara, do you see this? Look at that. Oh, is this the lifeboat on that? Is that the coolest thing you've ever seen? Thank you, Mara.
I thought you were wiping your nose with my hanky for a second. I
No,
just got
yours
a
is
little fired
no,
up, dude.
no. I'm afraid of you. Don't worry about it. You're younger than I am. I'm not going to do this.
Metric
40
says 40
milligrams.
milligrams total.
Okay,
daily.
40 milligrams a day total. The good news is this: that's not wildly high dose. So
That's good
you may
news.
actually get fairly close effective treatment with something like Subutex. I would not do Suboxone. I would do Subutex, and the reason for that is this is weird, right? But Suboxone does actually block part of the drug that you're taking, right? The Narcan in Suboxone cuts down on the bioavailability, and it cuts down on your ability to do more of it. As you take more Suboxone, you're also taking more Narcan. And you get to a point where the Narcan overweighs everything you just took. And basically, it made it really difficult to abuse, is what they did. They made it a very hard drug to abuse. So most people don't even bother to try. However, one person's abuse is another person's raising the level so that they can treat pain. Without the Narcan in it, if a doctor writes you a prescription for Subutex instead, you're going to start hearing about milligram amounts that are higher than you would normally hear in a office where they're trying to treat you for addiction, opiate use disorder, which is what those three initials stand for, the OUD, opiate use disorder. We don't
I felt
say
silly after saying out loud. I don't know what that means.
Well, there's
because
an
as soon as you
alcohol
said
one.
it, I was like, of course. If
Well,
it had
there's
been
an
the alcohol one,
now.
I would have recognized it.
Well,
you know what I
but
mean?
they're doing it with everything. These are the new euphemisms because, back in the day we said junkie. But you can't say any of those things.
I still say that. So
do I, and I was a junkie, right?
Yeah.
Like it doesn't bother me, but there are people that really struggle with it, and I get it. Right?
it's different when you lived a life.
Exactly, and you know what? I wasn't an addict. I wasn't a functioning addict or whatever. I was a junkie. I was doing the things I was doing was just awful.
Real quick, we keep dancing around a subject I want to touch on briefly. We're going to run into this forever because it's just integral to recovery, in my opinion. This is a very, very subjective subject matter. When I say subjective, what works for me might not work for Metro Console. What works for Metro Console may kind of work for my dad, but there's something better out there even than that. You know what I mean? So we are going to try to explore a myriad of options. We're going to try to be as thorough as possible. But just know, like, if something ain't working, there's probably something better out there. There's probably a better route, a better path. But just wanted to say that.
No, and you know what? You nailed it. I think that's the most important takeaway here, Metric, too, is that it sounds like you're going to lose a doctor that you've had for a while, and that sucks. When new doctors come in or whatever, it really is about sitting down and having really long discussions. And sometimes it's hard. I was going through this yesterday, right? Obviously, I told you guys what was going on with me. And they screwed up and gave me a poison. And were mean as hell to me when I was asking questions, right? Afterwards, and I know I'm not the most patient person, but I honestly, because I got lectured by two people before I even went in, right? Don't go nuts. I honestly went in there and just tried to sit down and get centered. And, the guy asked the question and I started to talk and he said, "That's not the question I asked you, right? Just answer the question." And I went, okay, all right. Sometimes it's very difficult dealing with medical professionals. It is. Some of them, though, are fantastic. Some of them are the best people you will ever want to meet. But you gotta
suck.
Some of them suck, right? Some of them suck. Hold on one second.
Mika says,
I do want to get back to the last one though when this is over because I want to talk to Lisa Trimble. I didn't answer that, but Subutex back in the 80s, my city had the worst epidemics in Finland before it was classified as drugs. 30,000 inhabitants, and we had 2 Subutex abuse clinics later. My age group was devastated. I believe that. that anything that you're going to put on the street and let people buy without prescription, right? This is what happens. This is a absolutely horrific thing. Or if you don't realize what it is, Subutex is absolutely a drug. It is a strong drug. Buprenorphine is no joke. Okay, what was it? Can we get to Lisa Trimble's or did we lose it? Oh, there it is. Well played, Calhoun. Let me get this bigger. Don't have any heart problems, but the cardiologist put me on a low dose of a beta blocker for anxiety instead of Audubon. It usually works pretty well, and Audubon is backup. I think that's great. It sounds to me like your doctor is trying to come up with things that, he's thinking outside the box or off label. I think that's great. And if you say it's working most of the time and having the Audubon as a backup, doesn't that sound perfect to you? That sounds fantastic, right? Just in case.
It's a backup.
Right. Best case scenario.
The question is, how do you feel about it, Lisa Trimble?
Yeah, no question.
The question is, how does it make you feel? You know what I mean? Is it working? Because that's really what matters.
Yeah, and I think that the most important thing, truthfully, is I don't know too many people that I've met on my time on this planet. When people say, denial, the person's in denial, I don't believe denial is what other people think it is. Because I just haven't met that many people that can look me in the eye and go, I don't have a problem, where I know that they're not BSing me and themselves. You know what I mean? I don't think that there are people out there that really don't know if they're taking the pills properly or not properly. And I don't mean Lisa. I mean everybody. If you're taking the medication the way the doctor has told you to take it, then I don't see it, that there's a problem. I don't. Right? I know I can't do that. I can speak to that, right? You give me a pill bottle that says, take 1 3 times a day. Oh, I assure you, it's not going to go down that way. It's just not.
Lisa says it works most of pretty well. That's what we wanted. That's great. We love that.
And by the way, another big shout out to Brandon, because that we were mid sentence when that happened. But good for you, bro. 4 weeks. Right. Now we're getting into we don't have to count weeks anymore, right? We're going to start knocking these things out in months again. I love this. I really do, man. Well played. Well played.
They don't want you to know this.
I'm going to take a brief intermission to say hit that like, subscribe, and bell for notifications. And if you don't want to get automatically unsubscribed for no reason at all, or other than YouTube having code errors, hit all under the bell for notifications, and allegedly we are told that stops the unsubscriptions.
I have heard that too. People, I'm not a doctor, right? Never played one on TV, but I was on I cannot say that word, Calhoun, and I've never been able to. Thank you. I used to. It became a joke with me and the doctor who wrote me the prescription for it the first time.
Some
the doctor's name
too.
And his name was Dr. Fernandez. He was, I will tell you his name because
shout out to the doctor.
A shout out to the doctor. This was the cat that I worked with in the BOP, who the only doctor that I came across that I truthfully believed was good at what he did, that was there because he wanted to be there. He said to me, I never got in trouble. I said, what? He goes, well, most of the doctors in here got in trouble doing something and they can't really work. And he said, I retired and this place just happened to be about 6 blocks from my house. He said, and I come in here. He was the coolest dude. I mean, he just was cool, but he put me on that. And he said, I'm putting you on this for your heart. However, it's been known to chill some people out. He said, and most people in here need to chill out. Right. He also, that guy knew I was an addict. When I got injured, he said to me, I want to put you on something for pain. He's like, but you're going to abuse it. He's like, I know who you are. I'm looking at your file. He said, he was just very, very open. He's like, and I really don't care. He goes, I'm not going to give you enough of it to get yourself into deep trouble. He's like, but I'm telling you, if you get caught with this stuff in your cheek, they're going to take you off this yard. And I said, yeah, you can keep it. At that point, I was already about 3 months in, but
yeah.
But he was a good guy, and I can't say that word, but I was on it for a very long period of time. And Dr. Fernandez said to me that in all of the time that he was working as a cardiologist, which is what he did in the real world, he said that it was the most effective drug that he had ever used treating just for the heart, not for the other stuff. But he was a big fan of it.
Goosebump says, just got here mid conversation. I was put on propranolol for a few years to
Kind of sounds
help
like a bong.
prevent migraines. What?
It kind of sounds like a bong hit.
He said it helped for migraines. Goosebump says it helped for migraines.
I'll be damned. See, that's another wildly off. I'm of the firm belief, and science kind of backs this up, that before you ever taste that, you either have it or you don't. Right now, you could take two people who could go out and do the same thing every day for 5 years. Right, one who has the predisposition for alcohol abuse disorder, and one who does not. Right, happens all the time in college. Two guys get together, they're best friends. They go through the fraternity every day. They're doing the exact same thing. One guy goes this way, one guy goes that way. He says, we got to quit. It's time to become an adult. One can't, right? No matter what they do. In fact, it hangs with them for the rest of the time they're on planet Earth. You know how many people I partied with freshman year in college who went on 3 years later to live normal lives and do whatever, and not me, right? I couldn't put on the brakes to save myself until I was in my mid 40s. It is, there is a genetic component. Yeah, thank God for that is right.
Nice chapeau.
You like the lid?
I like how the sides are attached to the top for no reason. Just like a statement. I think that's they're even better. They're snap-ons. Yes. I love it.
I can go one. I can go the other.
You should put one like down, like it's a folded ear on a dog.
Yes.
Like one of them's kind of.
Hey, Kestrel, give them hell over at the Daybell trial, would you please? Give them hell. Yeah, apparently propranolol.
It's pretty popular.
It's used for everything. You know what I mean? You got a sore throat?
Kind of makes you wonder what it actually does.
It's an interesting question, isn't it? They do look a little like kitty ears.
Research. They look like what?
Kitty ears, like cat ears.
Oh, your hat, yeah. Lumen says they knew of a pain management doctor that did Botox injections for migraine pain.
Yes.
Always wondered if it helped people.
A lot of people are doing this. A lot of people are using Botox for migraines. It's now not even off label anymore, right? Now Botox is being used on label to treat migraines. I have never gone down that road. You know why? Because I have way too much expression in my forehead. I look like Reese. You ever notice, like, you can scare the crap out of Reese and nothing ever happens to her? She does not have one wrinkle on her forehead. Like, she ever see her do her serial killer face? She goes, and nothing happens. Like, there's no, I couldn't do that. Can you put up Layla's?
Yeah, I'm getting lost in the sauce here. Can you tell? Layla Bradley, question. My fibromyalgia pain can be so bad, but all my doctor wants me to do is take an opioid. I have changed diet, exercise, etc., but I don't have quality of life without taking pills. What should I do? It sounds like quite the conundrum.
It does sound like quite the conundrum. Now, I hope you've said this to your doctor, right? I hope that you've said to your doctor, hey, I don't want to take opiates, right? This is not something that I want to do. I know that there are other classes of drugs that treat nerve pain specifically, right? That they could give you that are not opiates. Now, they have side effects too, and they're probably giving you them anyway, right? You're probably on Neurontin or like gabapentin, right? Neurontin or pregabalin. What's that stuff called? Lyrica. They probably have you on one or the other of those. Yeah. That would be my guess, is that they have you. And if they don't, but I would talk to my doctor and say, I want to try to treat this without opiates if I can. However, If the only thing working is an opiate and you're taking it the way that it is said to be taken on the bottle, I don't know that that's such a bad thing. But again, I've never been anti-drug. I'm not an anti-drug person.
This isn't
I'm an
an
anti-addiction.
anti-drug channel. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not an anti-drug channel. I don't think, I'm not a big fan of when it gets a hold of you and destroys your life, right? But the vast majority of people, believe it or not, but the vast majority of people who use drugs don't have a problem with them. I know that sounds crazy, but it's the truth. Hey, I'm all over that. I'm no fan of big pharma. And while you're, giving it to big pharma in particular, you can give it to the Sacklers.
What's your credit card debt balance? If it's $10,000 or more, here are 3 easy solutions you can start implementing today. And number 3 is an absolute game changer. Number 1, the first step to tackling your credit card debt is understanding how much debt you actually have and how long it could follow you around for if you're.
I've been getting, speaking of migraines, I've been feeling like pressure behind my temple and my eyes.
Oh, that's
Not like
terrible,
constant,
Calvin.
but like every now and again. I can't tell if it's related to being tired or not having enough water, but I have to also say, I feel like I cannot drink enough water in this state. I have to literally have a feed bag attached to me in order to drink enough water. I have water at my left perpetually, and I just am still not getting enough. There's that.
Thank you. That's good to know. Just for my information, Botox for migraines doesn't do what Botox does for wrinkles. It's done differently. Her mom's had 2 brain surgery and has Botox for migraines. She can still move her face. Excellent. Good to know. Thank you. Because I don't want to look like Anna Nicole. But if it really helps with the migraines thing, Calhoun, I think you should really get. One of those hoods when I start to hurt. But you can't drink enough water. You're right. You cannot drink enough water.
I definitely need some electrolytes. My dad hijacked my box, and I haven't gotten some more. See how I just threw you under the bus there, Dad?
Yeah, I saw that. It was pretty slick. CBC says, I can take the big O's, but not be sharp. Gotcha. Court reporting requires sharpness, fast processing. I can't imagine a court reporter on the nod. Oh, man. I'm sorry, but it's a Saturday Night Live skit waiting to happen. Could you read that back to me? Sorry.
From the people that brought you the home stenographer, we bring you the travel stenographer. Got a small person in a backpack.
Yeah, with Ron Popeil's pocket stenographer.
All right.
In the early 80s in Miami free basing, I, after 4 days awake, asked the others, don't you want to stop? They all said no, so I moved back to Boston. Saved my life. What happened to them? They're gone. I assure you. Everybody I know is gone, right? It just happens, right? The people that can't get out, sadly, especially in today's, the drugs that are on the street today are poisoned, right? The drug supply is poisoned. If you're going to, if you're out there and you're doing this, it's going to kill you. Yeah, you're not drinking tap H2O. No,
it's a lot easier for us if you just repeat the question rather than say, will you please answer my earlier question? Because when you say, will you answer my earlier question, what I do is then I disengage from the show and I go and look for your question. Because if I had seen it, I would have answered it. So now, WP, if you don't mind, would you just repeat your question so I'm not disengaging and
doubling back? I'm sorry to hear that, Matrix Rabbit, but Matrix Rabbit said all of his friends are locked up as well. And I think that it's a cliche, right? But you hear it at 12 steps and you hear it everywhere else, right? Where does it lead you? Institutions, right?
I
You
forget,
end
but
up,
I know what you're talking about.
yeah, you end up locked up in debt. I mean, that's really what it comes down to, right? You're in prison, you're in a rehab, you're buried, and that's, or you get sober, right? Or you become the miracle. You become that 10%. And if it's and again, those numbers, man, that they shouldn't bum you out. You should be able to say, oh, it can be done. Right, for real. That's all it had to take for me. I thought I was of a variety of addict that was not possible. When I saw someone who had a bigger habit than me, who got sober, it was a lock. If that dude could do it, I could do it.
Someone up here was commenting on, I may have allergies and honey from the town I live in may help. I totally intend to get some local wildflower honey. Look forward to that. Hopefully there's bees in Arizona.
Oh, there are bees in Arizona.
I feel like there's got to be, otherwise there wouldn't be flowers in Arizona, right?
Yeah, we have Arizona honey. There's yeah.
And then someone else said, it was Spike ZZZ, they have to drink a significant amount of salt every day. I feel like there's a bunch of salt in my diet, but it is worth paying attention to and seeing where I'm at with that, because that will help me retain more water. I'm definitely not getting enough electrolytes. Someone else asked how often I'm peeing. I don't want to get into too much detail, but I'm quite frequently. So I could be more hydrated judging by some signs. But I think that it's a multifaceted issue for sure. I bet you if I was hydrated, had electrolytes, and what was the other thing, had enough salt in my system, I'd probably be fine.
Odd.
Any fun plans this week, Dad?
This is weird from Brianna. Do I have any plans this week? I'm probably going to be farting around. I don't have anything major planned. I know I'm probably going to be doing a little around the house. I'm probably going to be putting up a couple of more squirrel videos. I'm having a lot of fun farting around chasing squirrel with a camera.
Yeah, I've been watching this. This is pretty cool.
Can't tell you how much fun I'm having doing that. I mean, I really am having a pretty good time. Also,
she's having just as much fun, you can tell.
Yeah, she's having a pretty good time. I also, I remember the bike that we bought. Well, I've been in the process of restoring this bike, and I cannot tell you how much fun it is. Right? I've restored a lot of watches and I've restored a lot of things, but a bike may seem small, but to a guy that works on watches, this is the largest thing in the entire world, right? It's like working on the Empire State Building. The gears on this thing are that big, right? It's so easy, but it's been a lot of fun to get it restored. Now everything works right. I've been riding it around and feeling younger. It's fun. But having a pretty good time.
Maybe I need to make like a reptile and wet my epidermis.
There you go. We're getting to that time of the year too.
Yeah, I almost got in the pool the other day, but I didn't.
This is interesting. I live here in Southern California desert. Right?
Drink a lot of water, which will wash out electrolytes, so they need to be replaced. Yeah, no, yes. I believe the ratio is a 3-to-1. Like if you had 3 glasses of water, 1 bottle of Gatorade kind of deal, or electrolyte drink.
Debbie P, I feel your pain, literally. I know that, yes, I do fix clocks along with watches. They're just bigger watches. They're easier to work on actually, but depending, there are some clocks like JLC Atmos. I can't fix that. Degenerative disc disease is horrific. Johnny Scoville, everything that you're listing, Johnny has, and has had surgeries on them. And my back's not in great shape. Johnny's is in awful shape. I've been
here, Dad. Hold on. This is a 3-parter. Was on fent patch for years, signed controlled, etc. contract to be random tested. Doctor and nurses said we don't prescribe that type of medication. Would even taper. How can he lie?
Signed a control? You know what?
It's kind of hard to understand what you're asking.
Okay, so listen, was on the fentanyl patch for years, and I signed a control